All right, so we're finally going to be able to shoot a little bit. Um, so before you actually shoot, if you've never actually shot out of your bow with your sight on, it's good to start out real close, kind of like where I'm sitting right now. Just stand off to the side about 5-6 yards, and you're just going to adjust it in. Whenever you're adjusting, it's not like a rifle or anything like that, where if you're hitting to the right and need it to come left, you click left. It's not like that. With sight, you're going to chase the arrow. So if it's hitting right, well then you need to go right. It'll going to bring it back left. And then if it's hitting too far up, well, make it go up and it'll bring it back down. So chase the arrow with your sight. Don't be like, well, I need it to go left, so I'm going to click it left. It won't go that way. So chase your arrow with your sight, and then but just start out close, about right here, so that you can actually get everything kind of sighted in and ready to go. And then if you know you're going to hit, you're good. Move on, and then I like to start out at 20. So I'm going to move everything around. We'll get set up at 20, and we'll see you out there. All right, so now that we're getting ready to shoot at our 20, I feel pretty confident that we're going to start out pretty good. And I've shot this bow a little bit, so I'm not expecting to make too many adjustments. But as far as adjustments go, I bring my hex key set with me out here. I always have my Sharpie. With my Sharpie, I'm going to start numbering my arrows, 1 through, I got 6 out here, so 1 through 6. And it kind of lets me know which arrows are hitting good, which arrows are hitting bad. And then once we get everything situated, I'll move over to broadheads, start shooting those, see how they fly. And then after that, we'll go ahead and name our arrows type deal. But as we're doing this, right, again, consistency is key. Sometimes you're going to change things up, sometimes you're not. But if you got something, excuse me, that's working, keep doing it, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and send 3 arrows down. I like to shoot in increments of 3 because it lets me know how tight I am, or if I am making any adjustments myself. Anytime that you're making or you're shooting, hold true to center. Don't try to change your sight picture just because you hit left or you hit right, because you want consistency. So hold that, all 3 arrows, hold it, and then make your adjustments off maybe your second round of shots, because you could have twitched or something like that. So hold it off to your second round of shots, and then start making your adjustments and chasing your arrow with your sight. I've got it set up to about 20 right here. I'm hoping to get out to 30 today, so we'll see how it goes. But here we go. I made a rookie mistake. I never have I shot with a hat on, and today I actually did not mean to do that. So as you can tell, I did not hit dead center on none of my shots, but I'm okay with that because I do want to hit center. But right now what I'm looking for is my grouping. Okay, so yes, I didn't hit center, but that grouping is not terrible. It's not as good as I'd like it, but it's not terrible. So with that kind of tells me I might go back and shoot 3 more, just see where they go. But that just tells me that I need to bring my sight down, because I aimed here the entire time, which meant I started hitting here. So aiming here and then hitting here, that tells me if I bring my sight down to here, chase my arrows, it should bring me up and put me right where I want. And then we'll make further adjustments there. But for the most part, like I said, I'm more concerned with my grouping than I am hitting the center at this point. So once I get dialed in, that's when I'll be worried about hitting center or not. But right now, I'm just happy with the grouping. So now I'm going to try to give y'all a side view of how I do it. I try to, again, keep everything the same every time. I'm going to go ahead and just send another 3 arrows, just see if I hit around the same spot. Then that will tell me my adjustments. I think I messed that one up. Alright, so that grouping there is not what I like. I did yank that one at the top. The bottom 2, they're a little bit closer to what I want, but as far as a whole 3 group, it's not exactly what I want. This one's kind of way up here, and this is about where I was last time, so that makes me feel like that's probably where I truly am. I twitched on this one, so that's why I think this one's up a little bit. So I think I'm comfortable with making a few adjustments now. I'm probably going to bring my sight down, which will bring these up, and then we'll kind of see where I set. The other thing that I noticed is I set a little bit to the left on consistent, a little left on my shot, so I might also bring it a little left as well. So I'll probably go down and left. So I have my hex key set. I won't need that one for right now. The sight that I got has these windage adjusters right here, so I'm gonna loosen them up and then make my minor corrections there, and then move on, and then we'll move on to my 30 pin where I'm actually going to need my hex key. Now there are certain sights out there where you're going to need your hex key in order to actually adjust your windage, and then also get down to your 20, your 30s, and so on. So, but I'm going to go ahead and adjust my 20 now, get it all right, and then we'll get it going. So for me, I just got to untwist it, and whenever you untwist it, just make sure you know which one you're untwisting. And then most of them have little measurements there, so like mine got a little yellow dot there, so that lets me know what line I'm on. So I said I need to come down, so I'm going to go ahead. Oh, way too far. Kind of remember where you were. So then I'm going to go ahead and tighten it back up. And then I'm going to move on to my left and right. Then I said I wanted to come left a little bit. So I'm going to kind of see where I was. Break that one open. And make it go left. It's minor adjustments, and then you'll be good as new. So then you go ahead, send your next 3 down there, and kind of see where you're hitting. If you might need to do adjustments or understand it's your shot as well. So I'm going to go ahead and set everything up to get my shots sent, and we'll see how I did. Alright, so for this one, I'm just going to point you down towards range to let you see what's going on. Y'all might see that log stuff in the back. That's my catch, so hopefully if I ever miss, which I have plenty, I got a bigger object back there to catch my arrows. It may damage them, but at the same time, I'd just rather find them. So we're going to go ahead and send a few down, let y'all watch. Alright, so as far as this goes, I'm pretty happy with it. I think that one on the left, that was my third arrow. I think I really twitched it because I was more afraid of hitting one of the other two arrows. It's really cool to try to get a Robin Hood, but it's a very expensive party trick. So, and not to mention how time consuming it was. So like I said, I really think with this one, I really janked it up. So probably what I'm going to wind up doing is I'm going to wind up shooting that one first, just to see where it goes. Because this was my first arrow right here, and it went as true as could be, I believe, if I'm remembering right. So I'll probably shoot this third arrow here just to see where it lands, just to see if I feel like I got a true sight in on it. So again, if you want to, you can go ahead and Sharpie one of these up, just see where it goes. And right about now is probably where I'm going to start making my judgment call on my best arrows, 1, 2, 3, and at least my top 3, so that I can get everything going. Like I said, more worried about this arrow, so I'm going to go ahead and send it down and see where I hit to let me know if I'm kind of truly sighted in at 20 or not. From what I can see here, it hit a little high. That's a little high, but still a dead deer. So then, another thing I might want to show y'all is just how to kind of like take it out, right? It's nothing strenuous. Just grab it, hold the base, and just pull straight out. And then whenever you do, take a check on this and make sure that your field points are still screwed in, because a lot of times they like to come unscrewed while you're once they hit and come out so many times. So give it a little tap, you hear clicking, maybe screw it in. Once it's screwed in, if you hear like clicking or anything unusual, that might be a bad arrow, so probably don't use that one no more. Alright, so from here I'm going to put y'all on top of the target. Hopefully the foam don't fall. We'll find out. But it kind of gives y'all a view of what it's going to look like as the arrow's coming down. Honestly, I've never done this myself, but hey, I just want to give y'all as much knowledge as I possibly can. Again, I don't know everything. I know a few things, but I just want to teach y'all the basics so that if you do happen to want to buy a bow, y'all can understand some of the basic fundamentals. So after that shot, this is what it's going to look like right there. So I've got two that, or one, whichever one, because the two on the right, they're very touching. One in the center there, I mean, that hit exactly where I was aiming. So I might have some fine tuning to do, but for the most part, that's how it's done right there, is just fine tuning. But I'm going to start shooting around, probably not going to video the rest. But I just want to start shooting around, see where I set and where it's all going to go. But if I come up with something, I'll make sure to put it in the video. So after doing some shooting off the video, what I come to find is I found 2 arrows that consistently hit center. So I went ahead and put 1 on one and 2 on the other. So what that does is it tells me these are my good arrows, my 2 consistent arrows. There is a way to make your other arrows consistent. Once I get to that point, I'll restart the video and I will show you what I'm talking about and how to do it. So, a lot of archers will not show this part. I told y'all earlier about the backstop, and I'm glad I got it there today because I was shooting 2 arrows trying to dial them in. 1, awesome. All right, so that's really cool. But I had shoulder surgery a year back, and ever since then I have a twitch, and it hits me about every 15-20 shots. It's really weird, but there we go. So now I don't got to search the woods for the arrow. It's right there. Hopefully it comes out. If not, then I've got an arrow that's just going to be there for quite a while. So I just wanted to show y'all that. So you can see that it's not all perfect, right? You are going to have mess ups, but learn from your mistakes as I have. And so maybe I can get that arrow out and make sure it's not damaged. So I pulled the arrow out. I had to actually unscrew it out. But running through the test, it seems like it's going to be a good arrow. It still looks straight. But all I had to do was unscrew it from the fill point, which we can see right there. So that fill point is going to be in there for a while. But you know what? I'm glad I got my arrow back. The backstop was a success. A lot of work was into it, but I'm glad that I did it. So I'm going to go back to shooting. I've got extra fill points in my shed, so I'm not worried about losing that one. Another rule of thumb, have other fill points on hand. Alright, so now I got 4 arrows that I believe are my solid arrows. So I've shot them quite a few times, so now I'm probably going to back it up to 30. I'm going to make a totally different video for 30. Talking about more of other things, right? But there is one thing that I did forget to mention when talking about shooting your bow, sighting in your bow, things like that, is whenever you're sighting in your bow here, like just in the backyard, you want your athletic stance. So I'm going to go over that here in a minute. I know it's not going to be easy to actually do that in the tree, but you got to do the best you can. Again, consistency is everything. You're not going to have the same shot every time when you're looking at a deer, but just making sure that you're stable, your bow is stable, and you're ready to take that shot. But really, that's about it. I'm going to go over the stance, and then we'll talk about it. You probably saw it in my video, but I want to kind of break it down just a little bit. Alright, so the stance, the athletic stance I was telling you about, kind of goes feet shoulder width or just a little bit more apart, and then slightly bending your knees. You don't want to lock them out. You're easily going to be moving, so bend your knees just a little bit, and then you've got that waist down athletic stance. So whenever I'm getting ready to aim at whatever I'm aiming at, I generally go off my shoulder. Try to get it centered off there. Again, get in my athletic stance. And then as I'm pulling that bow back, I should be pretty even with my target. As you see, I've got my target sitting up on a table. That just allows me to be about straight so I don't put my target on the ground and I'm always shooting down. Eventually we're going to climb up in the tree and start shooting from there. But that's kind of the breakdown of everything on that. That's kind of how you get from 5 to 20 and then just find your arrows and figure out which one flies for you the best. And then eventually I'm going to throw some broadheads on and we're going to start shooting broadheads. From here on out, after I get my 30 pin dialed in, I'm probably going to shoot primarily 30. and then I might shoot 20 every now and then just to make sure I'm good, but I'm primarily going to shoot 30 from here on out. So before we go, first, if you could, like, subscribe, share. I know there's people out there that are looking for the knowledge, and again, I don't know everything, but I know enough to get me by. But please like, subscribe, share, whatever you want to do. If not, whatever. But hopefully it's some good knowledge. If there's anything that you'd like to see, hit it up in the comments. Freaking, if I don't know it, I'll learn it, and then I'll try to get onto it. I'm all about learning. I'm all about being adaptive, because not everything's going to be the same. So, hey, I want to apologize for my freaking poultry out there. I've got chickens, guineas, and guineas are loud, but I love having their eggs on hand anytime we need them. I share with my friends, but anything y'all'd like to see, just put it in there, and I'll try to get to it. And then if you'd like to discuss it, we can discuss it. But that pretty much wraps this video up today. Appreciate y'all tagging in, and hopefully you learned something. If you didn't, please let me know how to be better.